Hello and welcome to Danielle's Denture Diaries. I am Danielle. Today I'm going to be giving a few updates on a few things. We're going to be talking a little bit about food. We're going to talk about products that I still use to this day and highly recommend. And I'm also going to be talking about dating again because that was something else that was brought up in the comments. And because I opened that window or that door, I feel like it's only fair that I update you a little bit more on that. So towards the end of this video, I'm going to be giving a heads up that I'm about to talk about it. So anyone who doesn't want to hear about that kind of stuff, doesn't want to discuss it here, I totally understand. Sometimes it makes people uncomfortable. This is something that I do want to talk about because I wish someone had talked to me about it. So take that for what you will, and I hope that you're comfortable, happy, feeling good, and that you know that you're as beautiful as you are to me. And without further ado, let's jump right in. So, since I got my bottom denture adjusted, I have been able to wear it comfortably. I've even fallen asleep in it a few times. For anyone who doesn't know, my denture was cutting into the bottom of my jaw right there, so we had quite a bit shaved off. The next hurdle for me to overcome with eating with my denture is eating a full meal with my denture. Today, I went to Chick-fil-A and I was able to get a 12-piece chicken nugget, and I was also able to get a chicken nugget sandwich as well. Or the chicken sandwich, I'm sorry. It's the number one, just the sandwich. And I was able to bite into it. I was able to chew. I was able to chew the chicken nuggets as well. The fries are still a little bit more difficult for me. And the biggest thing that I will find will happen is that I can bite and tear away. I can chew. It just is going to take a lot more practice and making sure that my denture is fitting well with the soft relines and the hard relines. Adhesive can only realistically do so much when it comes to chewing and eating, and that's just the realistic expectation out of adhesives. It's not always going to be a end-all be-all for issues, especially not with a bottom denture, but it's a heck of a start. So what I will find will happen is that I will start to eat and start to chew for at least the sake of practicing, but it does get to a point where it's now getting in the way of my appetite and it's making me feel like I don't want to eat, and as soon as I start to get to that threshold, which I don't let myself actually get there, because for anyone who's been following my journey, the biggest thing for me is to not continue to lose weight. I have the issue of losing weight, and I don't want to lose weight. I want to stay healthier. So that's me, and that's my journey. So I will take a napkin or a paper towel. I will kind of wipe my mouth, spit my bottom denture out, and put the denture in my lap, and then I will take it into the bathroom to rinse everything out. I'll place it back in the bathroom, and then I come back to the table, and no one's ever seemed to miss a beat. Nothing ever seems to change. I also don't eat out very often. I've been staying at my home majority of the time to eat, so it is what it is. But the victory is the chewing and the biting. So everything else is going to come, like I said, with those soft relines, the hard relines, practice, and time. Some other things I have found as well are making beef bowls of different kinds. So whether it's a kind of taco bowl or making myself a chili, that kind of stuff is very fulfilling and satisfying, and it has all the nutrients that I'm needing, such as like the protein from the beef and beans and things like that. Putting things in the slow cooker is a lifesaver, not only with time, but for the sake of practicing chewing and not wanting to actually really have to work at it. Something that I will repeat that I've heard before, and it sounds so smart, is to only practice eating when you're not actually hungry. If you're actually hungry, that is not the time to practice eating. That is the time to get something in your body. So whatever it means for you to eat comfortably, just do it. In addition, I've also been leaning on protein shakes more heavily. For me, protein shakes have always been something that I encourage people to utilize when it's necessary to their lifestyle. So anyone that's busy, anyone that has a family that they are also trying to think about, and they're running around and they work full time and all these other things, other responsibilities, other obligations, anyone that's busy really, protein shakes would benefit you. What kind of protein shake? Who knows? Depending on if you're vegan, if you're allergic to whey protein, and all those other things that can come into play. Not wanting to have dairy, wanting to have dairy, that kind of stuff. So I've always utilized it, but I've gotten more creative in the kitchen with that because I don't want to just have protein powder in a glass of milk. It's good, but after a while it gets really repetitive and really difficult to get past it, especially if you're not always a fan of the protein taste. Usually I don't mind. Other times I just find myself not wanting to drink it, and that's not what I want to do. So something I've done recently is I will do 2 scoops of vanilla protein with a glass of whole milk, and I will put, if you go to Target, get the frozen bag of strawberries and bananas, dump some of that in there with some chocolate syrup, and it is so good. Another one I'm wanting to do is oatmeal with peanut butter and chocolate syrup as well, with the 2 scoops of protein. So doing kind of like a Snickers type deal with it. But just doing different things to give it a different taste, give it a little more oomph and a little more sustenance. But do with that what you will, especially considering your eating preferences and all that. The next thing I wanted to talk about are products that I still to this day stand by. It is now February 13th, and I had my full extraction, full mouth, on September 20th of 2021. And I immediately had my dentures placed while I was still asleep under IV sedation. I woke up with my dentures in, and I've had them ever since. So, that being said, the products that I still stand by to this day are going to be Fixodent Max Hold. I keep a tube of this in my purse. There's a tube in my office. There are 2 in my bathroom. And there's probably 1 or 2 in my nightstand. No particular reason to having all of that, except for the fact that that is how much I trust this and believe in it, is that if I am in any which one of those places and I need to have it, I can throw it in my purse real quick, I can run into a bathroom real quick, and I have this with me. I will use it for tops and bottoms. As a matter of fact, I didn't even realize that I took the one out of my purse, and this is the one that was sitting on my desk. So that is how much I love this stuff. I will be doing 2 more videos tonight, and one of them is going to be how I use this on my bottom denture, which is why I'm not wearing it currently. The way that I will be doing it is inspired by Heather B. Denture Diva. She is one out of the 2 YouTubers that I was watching that inspired me to finally go forward with my denture journey and have the extraction scheduled and done and dentures, and here we are. So if you're not already watching her videos, I highly recommend her. I have not been very good at watching her videos lately. I've had a lot going on, but I do recommend her for sure. So, there's that. Another item that I recommend is the C-Bond wafers. They're adhesive seals apparently, but I've always called them wafers. I think it's because my dentist called them C-Bond wafers, and he said they're not actual wafers, but then he never clarified. So anyway, this is what I was talking about. So I use this specifically for my bottoms. I started using this because my dentist said that I had gotten the all clear to start using adhesive on my dentures as I was healing. He recommended doing this, however, because my bottoms were so loose and my bottom gums were still so tender. So this was really soft and really comfy at that point, and at this point it's still super soft and comfy, and it's also very convenient. So I will actually also be doing a video tonight on how I use these. So if you want to check out both alternatives, I will have that for you. But I absolutely love these to this day. Another item I still use is Fresh and Bright. I have not bothered to check into another paste for my dentures because this does the job. It gets them nice and bubbly, soapy, whatever. It cleans them, it does the job. I'm just the kind of person that efficiency and convenience is very key. My time is very precious. And I can get this on Amazon, I can get this at Walmart, I can get it at Target, CVS, wherever sells denture products. This is almost guaranteed to be on the shelf somewhere. So I do love it. Some other things as well are my tablets. So I've always used Polydent, and I've always used the Smoker brand. It's not that I myself am a smoker, it's just that these have the best whitening in it. So I've always used these. However, I've also bounced between these two Effordent. They both do the job. They both do it well. It smells not minty. It smells clean. If you ever smell your... Don't judge me. But when I see these bubbling in my denture bath, I got curious and I was like, okay, I wonder if it smells good. I wonder if it smells minty. I want to know what it's going to smell or taste like when I put it in my mouth. So I've leaned forward and smelled, and it smells clean. Not necessarily minty, but clean. That's about it. And then I don't ever really taste it because I brush my dentures after the fact. So, like I said, they both bubble. They both do the job. The Smoker's one I just like to get because of the extra whitening and stain removing there. So what I will do is I will be in the bathroom, usually sometimes in my kitchen because it's easier to watch my son from there in the living room. I will be in there. I will take my dentures out of their soak. I will, or actually no, I'll take my top denture out, put it in the bath with lukewarm water, not hot, not cold. I'll take a tablet, tear it away, and I'll usually drop it in a corner somewhere. I don't know why I am the way I am. That's just the way I am. It has to go in a corner. I can't just drop it. It has to go somewhere. So while that's going, I will then be brushing my gums and doing all that stuff. I'll use my tongue scraper. Once this is done, I rinse it off, and then I will put my Oral-B mouth sore mouthwash in, and then I will be brushing my dentures. And then once I'm done doing that, I will usually do a second mouthwash. Again, I don't know why. I think it's because I'm still in the habit of doing the salt water so many times over. But I will then have my dentures placed somewhere where I will dry them off, or I will have them face down so that they can dry off that way. I will take my adhesive, put it on, smear it with a Q-tip, then I will spit out my mouthwash, let this get tacky, and I will walk around and breathe with my mouth open to dry my gums out as much as I can, and then I will bite and put everything in place. So, regardless, the point is that these just do what they do, so nothing too special or fancy to be seen here. I do also still love having my Altoids on hand. It was because of the over salivating at one point. Now I just love having these because I think I've now formed a habit. I don't know. I just love having Altoids on hand now. So there's that. The last thing to talk about is now going to be the part that may be potentially TMI for some people. So if you don't want to talk about dating with dentures, kissing with dentures, intimacy with dentures, you may go ahead and click out of the video, and I will see you next time. Go ahead and hit the like button, leave a comment of what you thought so far, and hit subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me in the future, and I hope I see you again later. So, now that we've gotten that out of the way, for those of you who are wanting to hear more about my dating update with dentures, I am still dating the guy that I first told about my dentures. I was with somebody during the process initially, and now I am dating somebody else, and I've been nothing except happy. I did feel the person out first over a Zoom date. First of all, I did not want to be catfished, so no thank you. I watched that show and no, I'm good. I still watch that show and sometimes it scares me because that could have gone sideways so fast. Anyways, so the first things that I was asking were, pretty generic dating questions, at least in my opinion. And eventually it got to a point, it might have even been the second or third time that we were talking, I asked him about his general thought on people with prosthetics. And his first initial thoughts are, okay, so an arm, a glass eye, prosthetic leg, things like that, which are totally normal, right? And I just kind of was like, yeah, what's your overall thought on dating somebody with a prosthetic? And he said, well, I wouldn't be dating for any other reason other than your heart and your soul, so don't really have an opinion. And then it kind of transitioned into the question of, well, why do you even ask? Because from what I've seen, you don't have a prosthetic leg, you don't have a prosthetic arm or hand. It looks like your eyes are pretty mobile. So speaking of eyes, I'm sorry, my left eye is like really annoyed with my contacts right now. And I finally kind of just told myself during the conversation, I was like, look, in my head, not out loud, I was like, look, if I'm going to tell him about this and bother to bring it up at this point, I might as well just say it. And what's the worst that can happen? So I went and did it. And I said, I do have prosthetics. And he said, okay, but it's not your leg. It's not a leg. And I said, no, it's not an eye. No. It's not an arm. No. And I'm pretty confident he eventually said, is it your teeth? And I said, yep. And he asked, are they like veneers? Are they crowns? And I said, nope. And I did get shy, but I did end up telling him they were dentures. And the only other question he ended up asking was, are they snap-ins or are they not snap-ins? And I did find out later why he asked that question. I told him, nope, they are the old school ones. I can take them in and out as I please for the most part. And nothing changed from there. When it comes to kissing or talking, he does not notice the difference if I'm wearing my bottom denture or not. And he has said it because I've asked him, hey, did you even notice I'm not wearing my bottom denture? And he's like, no, are you not? No, I'm not. Because he does know that sometimes if I would go like this, it was because I was in pain. And he had gotten to a point where he was like, you might as well just not wear it sometimes if it hurts. And I was like, well, funny story is I'm not wearing it. So it kind of just came out. Otherwise, anything even more intimate, our more adult time, I prefer to not wear my bottom denture. When it comes to just kissing, I like to wear my bottom because it just makes me feel better. He doesn't notice a difference. That's just a preference for me. When it comes to anything more intimate than kissing, I prefer not to wear my bottom denture. And the sole reason is that whether or not I'm wearing my bottom denture is just the furthest thing from my mind, because I already know he doesn't know the difference. But also because even with the adhesive, even with the soft reline, even with the fact that I'm not eating food, they are still mobile. They are still movable. And I don't want to be focused on keeping something in my mouth in place when I'm trying to stay in the moment with this person. And that's just what I've always done. At one point, I did try to keep my bottom denture in, but I found myself more worried about how much it's moving or if it moved, if it was going to move, because there were instances where it didn't move at all. So for some people, it might be different. But otherwise, with my top denture, it's not even a worry. It's not even a thought. I'm just in the moment. I'm not even worried. And comparatively to when I didn't have my dentures, I mean, I had a front tooth coming out, I had a canine coming out, I had another tooth coming out. This whole piece was missing. And I'm happier now. I'm much more confident. So it's actually impacted everything in very, very good ways, and not ways that I necessarily ever thought of or took into account. I'm just grateful for it now. And when I did also talk to him about discussing him on my channel, I did tell him that I mentioned him the one time. I said I did not tell them your name or anything like that, because my personal opinion is that it was the weight of telling him everything about my life. That is my weight to carry. When it comes to who he is and who he introduces me to and all those things, that is his weight to carry. And I've already met his family. I've, met a few of his best friends. And as far as I can tell, his family knows about my dental stuff, at least to a point. And anything further, he said, nope, it's not my story to tell, it's hers. So when she's ready, she'll talk to you about it. But other than that, I told him, I was like, I didn't mention your name though. And he was like, I don't care if you mention my name, right? And I was like, yeah, but still, I don't know. But anyways, he actually encouraged it because he knows that this is something that was very heavy for me, and I've had to kind of figure it out on my own for the most part. And I'm just hopeful that everything that I have to bring to you guys can help take a little bit off your shoulders and let me carry it with you. But But yeah, I don't know if there's anything I haven't covered yet. You can go ahead and leave a comment and just let me know if there's anything more detailed you're wanting to know. Just let me know. If you do like these kinds of videos, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you would like to see more from me in the future, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.